everybody, welcome back to the channel. And ever since the introduction of the Ace characters being allowed to go to level 90, I thought it'd be a good idea to give you guys a guide on how to farm in the plug-in plant. Maybe what characters you might want to level up, what strategies you might want to use. So I'm going to be providing a guide as far as how to approach all these things. So the first thing is the plugin. So you go to the plugin by clicking on Dungeon, and I am pretending that a lot of you guys never seen this before. Maybe you're a newer player. You click on Transcendent Dungeon, and then you scroll over here and you click on Plugin Plant. This is where we can actually farm for specific items. The way this game mode works is that for a specific color, you need to have a specific color of team. So a yellow team, a green team, a red team, a purple team, a blue team, and you need to have them at a certain level. They have to be A3 or 3 red stars in order to be able to perform in here. If they are at level 90, A1, A2, they cannot. So literally what that means, guys, is that you need to get the character, and then you need to get 3 more copies of that character. So 4 of those characters in total in order to be able to be used in this game mode. But the higher the level they are, the better it's going to be for you, because then you're going to have more overall points. And the way to know how many overall points you actually need is by clicking on this little green icon, and it actually shows you what you actually need. So as long as all 3 of these characters are 2100 OP and above, you're going to be good to go. You'll be able to do damage, because if they are less than this, if one of them is less than this, you're actually going to do very little damage. It's actually going to be quite painful. So it's a really good idea to have all these characters, you know, above 2100 P, at least at tier 3, right? If you scroll up and you go to tier 5 and you click on here, then you're going to notice that you're going to need more overall points. You need 2,650, and they're right there tell you with these warning signs that we are, you know, under quite a bit. Now, how do you improve your overall points? So the best way to increase overall points, in my opinion, is to have higher level plugins. So if you click on equip down here and you click on this little icon here, it shows you where your plugins are actually going to be available. And you're not going to have any unless you've actually farmed in the plugin plant. But once you farm in the plugin plant, you're going to get some of these early ones where it says power 13, power 12, and so on. And each one of these plugins offers a certain stat, whether it's increased skill damage, whether it's increased grab skill damage, blast skill damage, increase a core effect, so on and so on and so on, right? Penetration, just a whole bunch of different stats, right? And when you're farming in this thing, what you're really looking for is you want plugins that have momentum. You want high level plugins with a lot of power. This is power 12, because the more power that you have on your plugins, the more overall points you're going to get. Whenever a character goes to level 90, they're going to have the maximum amount of overall points. That's what OP stands for, is overall points. But whenever you start equipping plugins that have higher power levels, right? This is power 13, but if I had a power 50 on here or a power 100, we would get a lot more overall points. And so that way you're not penalized for, you know, taking characters in a stage where you're under the overall point rating, and you're not really going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. Now, once you have the right amount of overall points on your entire team in these stages, what you really want to be looking for, guys, is momentum. Momentum is going to increase your damage tenfold. If you have enough overall points in these stages and you have enough momentum, you're going to do insane, guys. And the ideal thing that you're looking for as far as momentum is you want to have about 15,000 momentum. So when I click on stat details and I look at momentum, I want to be seeing 15,000 here. If you have about 15,000 momentum, give or take, guys, you're going to do really, really well in here, as long as you have the overall points rating, as long as you're within that realm of what they actually specify for these specific stages. So if you're not doing any damage, one of 2 things isn't happening. Either you don't have enough overall points, or you just don't have enough momentum. Because if you get in these higher tiers, even with the overall points, it gets pretty rough to do it in time. But if you have a lot of momentum, if you have like that 15,000, 12 to 15,000, you're going to be able to get it done in the tier 5s. You're going to be able to do really, really well. So that's the first thing about the plugins. And the way you want to approach this, guys, is you want to start off in tier 1, obviously, and work your way up. If you can get through tier 1, try tier 2. If you can get through tier 2, keep going and keep going. Because the higher level tier plugin plant that you farm in, you're going to be able to get higher level plugins. You're going to get more power on your plugin. So say, for example, maybe in tier 1, maybe you're only getting, you know, power 13, power 15. Maybe in tier 2, you're actually getting power 30, power 40. And you just want to keep switching your plugins back and forth as you progress through here, so that way you can keep going through here, because you're going to need more overall points for every higher tier that you're actually facing in here. Now let's talk about the characters here. So when it comes to the characters, guys, you know, the way that I would approach this is I would click on the little grade icon right here, and I would click on these 2 right here. Now, there are some FES characters, some purple border characters that can go to EX. And for those characters, specific things are needed, right? So for a certain character that might be a FES character, I think that I already have them all at EX. Like Chun-Li here was just a regular FES character, a purple border, but now she's a FES. And that's because she had what's called a change of kit. The same with Leona here, the same with Rugal, the same with Orochi, the same with Kyo, the same with Iori. All these characters, all these SS characters were just purple bordered characters, and then they become EX characters. They get this red border because they have what's called a change of kit. But literally, when you click on them, right here, there's a little thing here that says change of kit. So that's how you know if like a purple border character has this available. But for all the players in the game, I mean, you're going to have Kyo, Iori, Orochi, Rugal, Leona. All these characters are regular purple border characters that actually get buffed, or they actually can turn into an EX character. And the way that works is you're going to have you need 3 actual memories for these characters to change them up into an EX character. So, if you have Leona, if you pull her from the regular banner, then you can actually go into the exchange shop and you can use 3 actual memories that you have from her. Find her right here, change up kit. Right here. And you can actually find her right here, down here. Okay, let me see if I can find her. And by the way, guys, if you are curious about what all FES characters can turn into EX, here they all are. They show every single one of them in here, right? You got Gato, right? You have Eliza, right? All these characters can actually go and change into an EX character. Once you have 3 memories of them, you see here, you can get what's called a change of kit. And when you have one of these, you can actually take your character, no matter what level they are, into an EX character. So you're going to Kyo. This is a character that everybody's going to start with as a new player. So he's a yellow that you can actually, immediately level up. You can actually get SS memories, generic memories, through the guild raid. You can get SS memories, you can get BS memories. So like even Leona here, if you end up getting her, you'll be able to level her up. But you need actual memories for these characters in order to get these things. But once you have that and you buy this with those 3 memories, you can do a change of kit on your character, and then you can level them up through the game by getting, SS generic memories, BS generic memories, or just regular farming through the actual banners, depending on the character that they are. And when it comes to those characters, all right, we jump back in here, and we're going to click on the grade here. And again, we're just going to have these here, right? I've already EX'd all my characters, so I'm just going to do this to make it a little bit simpler. So what I'm looking at here is that I want to see what yellows I have available, right? You need 3 of each color. So when it comes to the yellows, guys, I have no UE character that is at A5 and above. Unfortunately, I didn't get Guile leveled up. There are other yellows. I'm just saying, you got to look at what you have and decide what are you going to do from here on out. And so for me, I look at my roster and I think, so you can either take a level 70 character that you really love and take them up to level 90, put them on the team. But what you really want to be doing is looking at the strongest characters available. So recently, Netmarble's been buffing up our characters. So those are characters you really want to level up first, at least in my humble opinion. So if you have Ryu here, he did get some insane buffs. Luke got some insane buffs. So for my yellow team, I really would like to have Ryu. I would like to have Luke. And then anyone else on the team, probably Lady Guinness in my case, for my yellow team. But what you're striving to do is having 1 UE character with 2 EX characters, or just have 2 UEs or 3 UEs, whatever you prefer. If you have 3 EX, it still might be a little bit tough unless you have maybe one of these buffed up characters. So if I click on my green and I take a look at my situation here, I'm doing pretty good. I got 2 greens that are at level 90, and I can just level up another character. So right now what I'm doing is I'm actually getting prime memory shards from the dispatch missions for Rugal, because I'm going to take him to level 90 and set up my green team. So whenever I'm pulling in a banner, I don't really need a green, especially since I got 2 UE characters, right? If you got 1, you really don't need it, especially if they're, fairly strong. So for my red, again, it's kind of the same situation. I got Mature, who's very strong. I got Maki, who's great support. And I'm actually leveling up Iori as my other character to level 90, so that way I can have all those overall points, right? It's really just a matter of opinion, guys, as far as who you want to level up. When it comes to my blue, I got 2 level 90 blues, so all I need is 1 more blue. Unfortunately, I won't be able to A5 Adelheid, but what I could do is level up Chun-Li. Chun-Li got some insane buffs. So this, to me, would be the best character, even though Leona's my girl, so is Chun-Li. But Chun-Li's already at level 70, so I don't have to worry about trying to use EX generic memories and all this crap to level her up. She's already leveled up and saves me a lot of time. And the big thing is, she's buffed. She's buffed. She's super, super strong. So she would be a nice addition to these characters. You could always use a character that has good supports like Cosme as well. And that's fine if that's who you want to use. But it takes forever to farm in the dispatch mission. So I prefer just to kind of go for the characters that I already have leveled up. But if you don't, you just need to pick and choose what characters you really want to go with. If you have one UE character, guys, at level 90, and then 2 other characters at level 90, you're going to be good to go. So if we jump up here to the purple, right? Purple, we're doing really, really good because they gave us 2 free purples, and I actually have 2 other purples. So I don't need to level up any EX characters for my purple team because I already got a solid team, either with Jury or Shenwu as my damage dealer, and then these 2 guys just hanging out in there. And that's kind of what you want to be doing, right? So for your purple team, Cronin would be insane, guys. Having Cronin, who just recently got buffed, Akuma would be insane. Like, both these characters just got some insane buffs on them, so they'd be really, really good to go. And that's kind of what you're paying attention to see, you know, what characters have had buffs, like Angel, obviously. You know, Angel is a green, right? She just got buffed up. So for your green team, she would be really, really good too because she just recently got buffed up. But you don't have to put the buffed up characters on her. That's just what I'd recommend to make your life a little bit easier, especially in the last stage of the plug-in plant when all 3 of your characters are on the team and they're facing against all the mobs. When you have stronger characters out there, it's going to be a lot easier to get it done and get through it. Or maybe you could just use, you know, the character that maybe has some good supports like Long in there to try to help you get it done. But those are just some recommendations as far as how maybe you want to approach the fighters and how you want to think about farming in that plug-in plant. So once you have 3 A3 characters of a specific color, you can start farming in that plug-in plant. You can start over tier 1, start getting you some plugins, and once you get, you know, high enough power level plugins, you know, especially with some momentum on them, then start going to tier 2 and tier 3. And remember, about 15,000 is where you want to be at when it comes to the momentum. So hopefully this will help somebody out there as far as, you know, farming in the plug-in plant, especially newer players. So guys, let me know how you're all doing in the game. Let me know if this does help you out. And I do stream on Twitch and YouTube. The link to Twitch is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.